Diablo 4 endgame content. Are you ready? I'm about to roast Diablo 4 in this video. I'm gonna make chicken wings out of it, and I don't care if I hurt your feelings or if you think how Diablo 4 is a masterpiece. Stay and I'll prove you wrong if you think otherwise, only with facts. Diablo 4 is an absolute disaster, and I can't decide what was worse, the campaign or the endgame. Or should I say, non-existing endgame. I loved Diablo 4 in beta and I jinxed it. I said multiple times during my videos that what we've seen in beta is probably what we're gonna see in the endgame, and then it's even worse. So let's start with good things first, and then we're gonna go to the bad things in Diablo 4, so we can call this video also pros and cons of Diablo 4. Let's go. So the first thing that's good in Diablo 4 would be juicy combat and great combat animations. Diablo 4 is also a high quality AAA title. Diablo 4 has a great Paragon board system, one of the highlights of this game, by the way. Diablo 4 can be very fun when played in co-op, especially in a group of 4 when you clear nightmare dungeons. Diablo 4 is a wasted potential of what could have been a great game. Diablo 4 is the only action RPG in the history of gaming where you get to fuck a demon. She's ready for a doggy style, man. Look at her. She's ready and willing. Ready and willing. The lesser evil is about to get fucked.
Better. For the first time since...
Yeah. Fuck the demon out of her. She feels better. So, we said what's good, or better to say pros of Diablo 4. Now we go to what's wrong, or better to say, now we go to a disaster. Cons of Diablo 4. I'll only say one thing for the start. More strangers in the camp. Those that don't know what I speak about should not even watch this video. I easily spent more time in this game riding a horse than actually playing an action RPG. This game should be named Wokablo instead of Diablo. Everything when you enter the base is like this in Path of Exile, and instead of a stash, there's a trader, there's a blacksmith, there's the shop, there's the enchantment, there are upgrades, and you just do it like this and you upgrade it all. What do you do in Diablo? You run, man, you enter the city, and then I need to do 15 dashes to reach a fucking shop so I can sell. Then I need to make 15 dashes to put items in a stash. Then 15 more dashes to go over here and upgrade a fucking gem. Then I need to go over here to upgrade an item, and I lose 5 minutes of my life. On every hour. Every day. On walking. Shall we pretend how all of that I said right now is not true? We got one working OP build per class in the entire game. The rest of the builds are absolute trash. Itemization, but even that is lacking. There is no belt, man. Fucking hell, there is no belt in Diablo game. There are no shoulders, there is no belt. Instead of them expanding the inventory, they made it mobile-like. Less items. You cannot switch sets. Okay, I mean, weapons. You're forced to play with one weapon through the entire game. And that also means extremely low build variety. Oh, you wanna speak now about items? But you get same fucking passives every freaking time, man. Every time when the item drops, I see a same passive. There's like 20 passives that rotate. And you just look for bigger numbers. P.S. Speaking about build variety, good luck killing a rogue or a sorc in PvP with barbarian, druid, or god forbid with a necromancer. First MMO action RPG in the history of gaming, that carries the most famous action RPG name in the history of gaming, and one of the best PC isometric mouse and keyboard games in the world, and now it was made for a gamepad. Torment, the hardest difficulty in the game, feels like a story mod. In other words, there is no challenge in Diablo 4 at all. And now we're gonna speak how the game is beautiful. What do I got with it if it's beautiful? I don't wanna fuck it, I wanna play it. What do I got with it if it's beautiful? The Tree of Whispers in Diablo 4 is actually Bounties from Diablo 3, perhaps even worse than Bounties. Helltide, the red thing on the map you see on screen, is actually Bounties, but instead of collecting your rewards on a tree, this time you collect them from chests. Exactly the same thing as Bounties. They only call it differently. A wannabe Path of Exile maps they call Nightmare Dungeons made a complete failure, because they had perfect system with greater rifts and timing in Diablo 3. Speaking about dungeons, all dungeons in this game consist out of two exactly the same things. Kill all mobs on a map, or loot 2 pieces of shit to open a door and finish the map. They say they got 120 dungeons. They're all the same! Slay all enemies, or loot 2 pieces of shit and put them on a door to unlock. No matter if it's a capstone dungeon, if it's a nightmare dungeon, if it's a classic dungeon, it doesn't matter. Talking about repetitive stuff, it doesn't get more repetitive. Side quests in this game are one of the worst side quests in video gaming history. Not only for MMOs and action RPGs, in video gaming history. They're so freaking cringe that there are no words to describe the side quests in Diablo 4. Farming renown through those side quests is straight cancer. Why do I farm a renown when there are no Uber buses? Why do I need it? What's the goal? There is no ladder. I don't compete with others. That's out. There is no need to farm. There is no ladder. There are no Uber buses. Why do we farm? There are no challenges. Why do we farm? Why do we go for level 100? What's the point? At least Diablo 3 has a ladder. And at least in Diablo 3 everything is close by when you want to sell, buy, upgrade and so on. I have a feeling like everything that they did to prolong game's life, game time. And then they divided it all, okay? Where you need to walk and walk and walk and walk until you go fucking mad. You'll grow grey and bald until you're done with renown. Some could even go insane, so take care when you do renown. There is worse thing than renown, of course, it's listening to Diablo's NPCs. They're even bigger cancer. The biggest cancer by far is Diablo's 4 main story. Hollywood-like, folky story. Thank God I seen that one once in my life and never again. Farming chickens, picking flowers, watering plants, dressing in purple and pink, buying cosmetics in its microtransaction shop. That's what the side quests in Diablo 4 are, believe it or not. I have a feeling like when they made the game, and I keep saying it, they made the shop first. You know, that's the feeling I get. Everything is there because of the shop. First they created the shop and then they created the game. Mark my words, this is how it happened. First the shop was created. That was the first idea when they said, hey, we're gonna make Diablo, start from the shop. And developers like, but we need to make something with the game. And then CEOs were like, start from the shop or I'll kill you. And they started from a shop. Now when you start from a shop, the camera needs to be like this. Just like that. Zoomed in your fucking face. God forbid you roll out, okay? God forbid you can zoom out. You can zoom in, you cannot zoom out. That tells you it was made for that. This one. That's default. That's a perfect game. That. Now why on earth did Blizzard put a camera so freaking close with that angle instead of this? Why? Man, there's a perfect game. There's a perfect action RPG. This, Blizzard. This is like dream come true for action RPGs. Angle, okay, and I would say it's perfect. Zoom in, zoom out, call it how you like. Perfection. This should be default, and you should have an option to even further zoom out if you want to see the entire area, if you want to see the temple here and so on. Zoom it out, and there is an option to see. Look how fucking perfect this is. On top of it all is the slowest experience gain in the MMO action RPG history. This game is a complete slug. To be precise, I would be max level in Path of Exile when I was only level 60 or 70 in Diablo IV. That's how much grindy the game is. Gotta say this again cause it irritates the living shit out of me. It's an action RPG made for this. The freaking gamepad. So what is Diablo 4? It's an MMO action RPG that's more a fetchy MMO than an action RPG. You fetch something non-stop in this game. You feel more like playing a dog than a barbarian. It's possible that dogs fetch less. Microtransactions are as expensive as the game itself, or should I call them macrotransactions? After all, it's a $100 game with a shop. It's a game that's named Diablo IV, and it carries a legacy of a famous Blizzard North franchise named Diablo 1 and 2. And it doesn't have Diablo as the endgame boss. Again, it has a female for the boss. In Diablo 3, we had a woman Diablo, and now we got Lilith, lesser evil, daughter of Mephisto. And the name of the game is, I gotta say it again, Diablo. Good job, Blizzard. Good job. Now, if you wanna see Diablo in Diablo 4, there is his statue in the game. They cut off its head though, because there you gotta look at the cosmetics. Look at this now. You can't see Diablo.
Diablo, Lord of Terror.
Lord of Terror without head during cinematics. The name of the game is Diablo. And you can't see the statue of Diablo. Because you need to look at your own skin, man, from microtransactions, like, come on. Blizzard is straight up brain dead, man. The brain dead. Name of the game is Diablo, and you can't utter the statue of Diablo to be in the middle of the fucking screen. 30 years old franchise, man. Disrespect. That's disrespect towards Diablo. Who cares about Diablo? Right? The game is named Lilito, Horsablo, Pechablo, Wokablo. So, bottom line is, if you wanna see Diablo in Diablo 4, you need to wait for the DLC, pay $60, and you're gonna get to see Diablo wearing pink this time. Perhaps we're gonna see a Woki Diablo with all of his sisters and brothers, and they're gonna make a final trio fantastico. Okay, gonna make it a foursome at the end, I guess. And yeah, once we buy the DLC where Diablo is in Diablo 4, we're probably gonna get a Diablo skin for the horse. Perhaps in all shiny rainbow colors. The only time when they showed Diablo in the game was through a statue, cause hey, we got that zoomed in camera to see all of those shiny cosmetics now, okay, who cares about Diablo? We need to see those pricey cosmetics. It is Wokablo after all. Speaking about the camera, zoomed in camera is straight cancer, and we all know that zoomed out version exists. Diablo 4 is also the most casual action RPG, or should I say MMO action RPG in the history of gaming. The non-stop online in Diablo 4 also means non-stop lags, patches, server updates, and whatnot. World bosses are so freaking idiotic that you're always safe as long as you sit under their asses. This is the fastest world boss ever, or what? What was this? Like less than a minute? How do you call 3 world bosses? Endgame. How many times I need to kill a Shava before I get bored? 30 times. And then what? What's the point? Frankly, I don't even know why the world bosses exist in this game. They are as strong as a classic minion. And mind you, this is on a torment difficulty and no one here was maxed out. What would be if everyone were maxed out level 100 with full gear? 1 second fight, we all fart and the boss dies. The boss spawns and commits a suicide maybe, because there is no point. That's, by the way, the difficulty and the challenge of Diablo 4. But hey, you can play with a gamepad. Legendary items in this game are the most boring and repetitive thing that I've seen in action RPG's history. There's very few legendary items and most of them are completely useless. They all look the same, they all feel the same. Itemization is completely broken and lacking. The skill tree is extremely small and it offers very low build variety. Diablo 4 is basically a walking simulator and a horse hippodrome. And you are the dog that's going to fetch 24/7. 120 promised dungeons are actually the same thing with different colors only. They're all the same, reused assets everywhere, in campaign and in the endgame. Should I also say how they got 10 same repeating endgame dungeon bosses, non-stop the same fuckers repeat with different names. That would be the endgame dungeon crawling for you. The funniest thing is 1 million gems will drop in this game and you won't need like 5% of them in total. Your inventory will be plagued with gems, so you won't be able to loot classic stuff. That means you need to TP back and forth to sell or to dismantle items. Diablo 4 itemization is completely simplified and brain dead. I gotta say this again because I love saying it. In Diablo 3, we gotta fight Diablo as a woman. In Diablo 4, we had to fight Lilith, a lesser evil, daughter of Mephisto, daughter of hatred, creator of the sanctuary. This is a lesser evil that's somehow more powerful than other lesser evils in the game. During the campaign, you'll get to meet them, and this one is somehow extremely powerful. She should be equal in strength, but someone over there at Blizzard doesn't even know the story and the lore of Diablo. She looks terrifying as the prime evils. Now, let's see the real prime evil.
Well,
a lot of you will say how Diablo 4 is a reskin of Diablo 3, but I disagree. It's way much worse than a reskin. At least Diablo 3 had endgame, ladder, and timed dungeons, something to provide a challenge. In Diablo 4, for a challenge, well, it has a shop. The more you work, the more money you can spend, real money, real work, in cosmetics shop. That's the challenge of Diablo 4. It's more than enough, I guess. Yeah? What did you expect? A good video game? Mega, ultra, giga, slow paced game and slow XP gain in Diablo 4, cause they want you to fetch for weeks. Getting demonized Hollywood actors.
Death by ghouls. A bad way to go. But a great metal band name?
To sell the game, and selling the game through McDonald's and KFC with huge advertising through those chicken wings and burgers is a full success. Good job, Blizzard. Good job. Again, you advertised your shit well and sold it as a diamond. It still smells like a shit though, but you sold it well. Mission accomplished. Good job. Diablo 3 has a better and more complex system than Diablo 4, no matter how silly that sounds, because we all know how disastrous Diablo 3 was, call it however you like. Diablo 4 is basically a cash grab product. Shallow, empty, stupid. Stupefied to oblivion. It's a pale and unfinished work and a testimony that Blizzard is dead. For real gamers, of course, they're pretty much alive and well standing in terms of money. Now hopefully, like Blizzard did well for Diablo 3 in Season 28, so 10 years after, with that Altar of Rights patch for the Season 28, I also hope we will get to see some good juicy patch in Season 28 of Diablo 4, cause that's how fast Blizzard is working on their games. So we're gonna maybe get some solid endgame content once I'm around 50, early 50s, I guess. But I would say it's worth it, it's worth the time, it's worth the wait, and it's worth all of that money spent, hey? So in 10 years from now, we're gonna see something good in Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is basically coming out very soon, okay? This was not a full release. Full release of Diablo 4 is about to come, and I'll show it to you right now.
Mine! Vile abomination! The stench, it's getting worse.
What we played is still in beta, be patient. P.S. Dear Lord, Jesus Christ, forgive your servant and the shameful sinner for playing this Satan's product, for spending $100 on this satanic product instead of feeding the poor.